Welcome, everybody, to the Chromaniacs, your weekly look inside San Diego FC and Major League Soccer. Episode number 10 of the Chromaniacs Leagues Cup edition. Pachuca doing it to Chuky. Now Tigres in front of us, and they've got quite a bite. What's happening, everybody? My name is Craig Elston, joined once again by Tony Sanchez from SanDiego.Futbol. How's it going, Tony?
It is good. It is hot out there. Training was, it was steamy, but it's Leagues Cup. It's a different sort of press conference atmosphere indoors for this one. We got Mikey Varas, Tomas Angel. We'll hear some audio leading into tomorrow's match that almost didn't happen. Almost.
That story still to come on episode 10 of the Chromaniacs. But first, let's introduce the man who writes Chromatic FC. It's Alex Pena. Hi, Alex.
Hey, Craig and Tony, we're back, and we got to witness our first CONCACAF-ish. I guess that's how you want to call it. Yeah. San Diego, you got to experience CONCACAF for the first time.
Anders Dreyer, you thought you could escape the reach of CONCACAF living in a Nordic nation? No, sir. You have now experienced the bitter taste of CONCACAF Red. It's not the wine you want to sip at the end of the match. He wants a beer and candy. Instead, he got a tall pour of CONCACAF Red for Anders Dreyer. We'll talk about it. We're going to talk about SDFC and Pachuca and a 3-2 setback. We're going to talk about the Leagues Cup and where we stand. And as Tony said, we'll hear from Mikey Varas. We'll hear from Tomas Angel. We'll look ahead to Gignac and to Los Tigres de Monterrey. But first, a reminder to help us out as a young show. Just 10 episodes now. They always say it's not a podcast until the 10th episode.
Oh.
We've already beaten like 90% of startup shows that usually make it somewhere between 5 and 9 shows and then just cash out and go, you know what? This is a lot of work. Let's get out of here. So already we've crossed that threshold, but 10 is not 100, is not 1,000. So we are still very much dependent on word of mouth, on 5-star reviews within the algorithms of the various, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeart, so on, so forth, Google Play. So please help us out. Subscribe to the show on YouTube. If you're watching the YouTube show, click the like button. Thank you so much for doing it. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, iHeart. Always opportunities to rank, rate, and review. You can also follow us on Instagram. Our man, Terrible SDFC Memes, does a great job of pulling pertinent clips from the show and recycling them. We say thank you to him. So join us at The Chromaniacs on Instagram. Guys, it's great to see. Hey, 23 extra followers between the last time we did that and now. So community continues to grow. It's good to see.
Yeah. I love it. We're getting, followers from everywhere, smart followers, people who are plugged in, and that's really what this is about. Like, I'm glad that we can explain what an offsides is to anybody any day. I'll be glad to do it. But also let's talk, X's and O's. And I know, Alex, you like yourself some tactics and writing about it too.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we saw a lot of different tactics in this one, and man, it's cool to see the other side, the flip side of what is LigaMX, and I really enjoyed the game and all the ups and downs that came with it.
Well, we're going to get into it all, and let's get rolling. Thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. And for everybody who's watching later on YouTube, thank you so much. Before we get into Pachuca, I guess we should kind of roll through. Last time on the show, we talked about Pedro Soma. We talked about David Vasquez. Those moves have been made official now. Was there anything in terms of the general allocation money, the other one that I don't know what the T stands for, allocation money, any of it? Was there anything surprising or unexpected?
I don't think so. Pretty straightforward when it came to Vasquez. Exactly how it was reported, a loan, and we gave. It was reported that the Vasquez loan came with 50,000 in GAM. Not a lot for this season, and it will be another 50,000 for next season. And yeah, straight up with an option it was an option to buy, but I think technically it was an option to trade, which is probably going to be trade for more GAM or trade for a player or both potentially, but that's going to be something to talk about down the road. But when it came to Soma, yeah, that seems like an under 22 slot. So we filled out our third slot there in on the roster, and I didn't see that's the tricky thing about these details. You don't get the full picture of it, but I have a feeling it did come with a loan fee that didn't go reported. But that's usually how these things go, or loan fee, transfer fee. That's kind of how these transactions happen. But yeah, so who knows what kind of money that was, but that would be added on to that. I think that's added on to the TAM or GAM, one of those. And then yeah, and so but that seems like a long-term play for a player that's gonna be here for a while and really develop with the team. And yeah, we'll get to see Soma it feels like pretty soon. He's in training, he's with the team. He was listed on the bench, so I'm pretty excited about both of these players.
Tony, do you think we can see them both tomorrow? Maybe.
I can see some minutes for some of these players as well, just kind of easing them in. But again, it really depends on the ambition of SDFC in this tournament to begin with. And if I was to just kind of be a reader of body language out of training, and not to say that there's any aspect that wouldn't want to of the team to win this next upcoming match against Tigres, but I think the club would feel correct if this tournament just ended. Just the way it's being handled, the way that it's stretching the depth of the team. And yeah, you can go ahead and get Pedro Soma in there. You have Duran Free rejoining the team as well. And so depending if they have a victory and the third game against Mazatlan is more important, now you can see more of Pedro Soma. But if it's not, you can see maybe some resting. Yeah, hey, Honor Dreyer is going to get a rest tomorrow. He's not going to play.
Yeah, he made sure of that. No question. Well, you just brought it up. Duran Free is back. Oh, imagine the podcasts in FC Nordsjælland just ripping the club for being unable to resolve the loan ended and you sent him back. Did they do an Alaski style emergency pod when Free got on a plane? I don't think so. But nonetheless, Duran Free is back, which means that the other third keeper, Jacob Jackson, has been sent along. He's been traded to FC Dallas for a third round pick in next year's Super Draft. So cool for that. And I think cool for Duran Free, who probably won't see the field unless like something really bad happens. I don't think Duran Free will see the field, but it's great to hear that. And thank you, Tony, for pulling that up. If you're listening to the show, Tony just pulled up the Jacob Jackson woven into our history. and literally a picture of him like calling to the coach, but it looks like he's waving goodbye. He's like, goodbye.
Yeah.
I forgot he's on the team.
Hey, if you really want to look at it, I'm sorry, Alex, but that's another SanDiegan that's now left the team.
Oh my gosh.
Another one, yeah.
Oh,
that's true. They can't keep these local guys on the roster. I
just can't keep good people in California. It's that Gavin Newsom, I tell you. You just can't keep a good guy here. It's the price of eggs. No, it's not.
Or it's the other way around too. Now we're getting rid of the San Diego Latino population too. Hey, did you see that Bombino also had an offer come through and rejected?
Yes. Oh, that's good. Great. Thank you for bringing that up. Let's talk about this. Luca is popular, Alex.
Yeah, and this is going to be, I think the first of many offers for not only Bombino, but some of the younger guys on the squad when it comes to Dua or Verhoeven or any of these guys that catches the eye of teams from Premier League, Championship, wherever. And yeah, I felt like this was like almost a caution flag, right? This is like a warning shot that was put in the air. Like, yeah, these players will be sold eventually, but for now, Verhoeven isn't even technically our player. We got to remember that he's not even ours to like sell or transfer over. He's still with LAFC, and we have that option to buy at the end of the season. But yeah, when we do have that option and pick it up, these players are going to be a hot commodity for SanDiego.FC, and yeah, this is going to be the first. Yeah, this is the first warning shot that we get that hey, West Brom is interested in one of our players.
Someday the sales will come. And then we'll be out here trying to be like, oh, we're so happy we got this and that. And boo, 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 boo. You know what? I just got off a Padres trade deadline podcast. I like the team that acquires the players.
Yep.
And says, we ride. It's time to go. I don't like the team that's like, did you see how smart we are on the actuarial table? Did you see how we got over on West Brom and how our acquisition fee exceeded our transfer fee? And look at us. We're actuarial geniuses. We've done the job. By the way, we finished 5th in the league and we bowed out in the first round of the playoffs. But it's okay. Did you see our selling acumen? By the way, buy our latest jersey as well. Community Kit is out. It's white. Sorry, I'll never get over that. Just call it the away kit. You didn't have to call it Community Kit. But I digress.
If I speak, I get in trouble.
Right.
You're good at talking to.
We're an independent show. Thank goodness. When I speak, I don't get in trouble. Now, at the old job, I probably would have. But that's cool. We're good. Okay. Leagues Cup. Let's get into it. Alex, what were your expectations before Leagues Cup began, and what are your expectations now?
Man, when I saw this on the schedule, I thought this was like a good opportunity for like hey, nice scarf. Sorry. I thought this was a good opportunity to kind of showcase our younger guys. So I didn't really think this was a take it seriously type of competition. I kind of saw it more like, okay, this is a competition that our other guys can play, our reserves can play, our B team can play. I didn't expect to see so many regulars starting this match. It was interesting to see that starting 11, and so I didn't take it seriously initially, and now it's like, well, we lost a game. Now it's like less serious, and now I'm more calling for, hey, just let the kids play. Let give Mike minutes. Give Angel. Give him a whole 90. Jeez. Give these guys, Boateng, give all these guys all the playing time in this and for the rest of this competition.
Is that the problem? Angel's only been getting 80. If we give him the full 90, it's those last 10 where the value comes up. Like bad for 16 holes, but on the 17th, his drive is money.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think that's kind of how you got to think about it, because when he does come in late, he actually does something. He does does something positive.
Yeah, but that's like his 10th minute when he subs in, not his 90th minute.
Yeah,
guys, let's remember what Mikey said post match this last game when Chief asked him, but he defends well.
Yeah, he defends well. Yeah, for a forward. Yeah,
he defends and he said his work rate and he's creating space. Like these are all good things. Yeah. That a coach needs to say to defend a young player. But, he said it as well. And by the way, I love Mikey Vares's honesty in the soulful way that he answers questions. And even his coach speak is laced with honesty and humility. So it's beautiful. So I don't get mad at him like I get mad at Schulte. over in the Padres dugout for all of that. I feel the same way, Alex, and I think Tony, just our chats even offline, that you do as well. That personally, I think for a San Diego FC expansion franchise that doesn't have an academy, doesn't have a SDFC 2, has no reserves, has to basically play their starters every game no matter what, with maybe like 2 or 3 subs. The idea of being enrolled in a tournament where you have to play 3 games in 7 days right in the middle of the league schedule is nuts. I think from a purely aesthetic standpoint, the league would have been better served to put SDFC in the Lamar Hunt U.S. Open Cup tournament, where there would have been fewer compressed commitments. And if you lost one, you're out of there. So you move along with the season. I think this is a really tough lift for San Diego FC, whether they win one game just to play the 270 minutes plus stoppage time in 7 days and then roll back into the league schedule. That's a really tough ask for this team. I think asking them to win in Leagues Cup, well, that might be a bridge too far, guys.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this tournament, right? Like, as a soccer purist that I consider myself, right? This is a new tournament that's the nouveau style of soccer, and we're trying to make trying to be not as cynical as possible, but trying to make dollars instead of pesos, which is why all these games are played in America to begin with, right? And looking at it from a just league construction standpoint, from the Mexican side, the Mexican teams don't want this. They do not want this at all. They hate that they have to take a pause in their league because they're paused too. And instead of playing in Libertadores, which is a tournament equal to that of the Champions League in terms of history, if not more, down south on a club level, they're now in this pseudo, MLS, LigaMX, some Canadian teams in there, like smorgasbord of whatever that's poorly managed in terms of like logistics, as we've been seeing the last couple of years. Last year, a team of León was stranded in an airport. They lived in an airport because they couldn't get out there. Today, speaking of San Diego FC, that becomes a story once again. Tigres, as of about 45 minutes ago, have finally landed in San Diego. They were stranded in Houston. They were on a plane last night twice and deboarded twice and had to be on a holding pattern, and there was a chance that this game was not going to happen. It got so close that there was talks of either rescheduling this game, which were just told no, and then there was a chance to ask San Diego FC, hey, can San Diego FC then travel over somewhere else, whether that's Houston, whether that's Monterrey, and no, no. But again, this is how close this game got to not happen.
Wow.
It was this close from having a Friday open and everybody's going to be at Petco to watch, what I'm now very excited for in this Padres team. I'm so excited.
That's very MASL. I mean, come on, Tigres, just fly in tomorrow. What's the big deal? Just land at 3 and play at 8. Who cares? No, I mean, that's terrible. That's poor logistics, and I don't know any of this, so I'm not going to make any commentary beyond that. But I'm glad that they're making it. At least I think the compact nature of this tournament is terrible for all the teams involved. The LigaMX teams are very early in their second season, right? This one is Clausura, am I right? So they're early in Clausura, while for the for SDFC and the MLS teams, they're beyond the halfway point. They just went through All-Star. Like, it's just wild, the timing to me, and to have it all happen so fast. The action's been okay. Other MLS teams have done pretty well. The Messi comeback, that was super exciting for Inter Miami. For SDFC, this just feels ill-fitted, and that can help us transition to the match, which felt to me, guys, tell me I'm wrong. I'd love to hear from both of you. Thought it was the biggest mismatch of the season. I really felt like Pachuca outclassed SDFC and did all the things to our young backline that I've been a nervous Nelly about for weeks, thinking that MLS teams were going to be able to exploit. Well, I think that you needed to step up to see a LigaMX side that's undefeated, to see what it looks like when a team that has a little more talent and a little more speed than you high presses you and puts your back line on the back foot. And I thought the turnovers were in the most dangerous places I've seen all year. I thought the counters were the most dangerous I've seen all year. And to be honest, I thought it could have been 4 or 5-0 before SDFC got their late goals.
Yeah, I also agree. And also like the physicality of this, like Pachuca held nothing back, especially towards our young back line. They were aggressive. They did take their shots and got a little chippy, and whether that was with in the backfield or in the midfield, yeah, they were being aggressive, and this is the top team in Liga MX, and yeah, it really did show. And they're coached by a really good head coach, Jaime Lozano, who also coached a national team, just like Mikey Varas. And yeah, it really does show that yeah, tactically, like they were really good. I mean, they waited for their chances and really put it away. I mean, that was the difference. Like they were able to take their shots and put those shots away, and we just couldn't early on in this match. And yeah, I think if we were to get one early goal, I think that could have shifted a lot, early on in this match, and we just couldn't do it. And but it was interesting to see that Chuky took a lot more shots than anybody else, and Chuky really wanted to have his moment against his former team, and um, he didn't get it. And I think I honestly thought that he would get a half and Virus would take him off, but I think that he left him on a little too long for my liking for this match, and kept him on till like the same 75th minute or so. And yeah, I think like the pressure was kind of on him, and the team really wanted him to score. And yeah, it was just it was a little different for me, like when it came to seeing SDFC play against this caliber of club.
That highlight you just rolled right there, Tony, and I apologize. I've forgotten the name of the striker for Pachuca there. They run the 4-3-2-1 and set him up number 99. But him against Dua, that's a man against a boy right there.
100%.
Right there. That's a man against a boy. And that is taking somebody to school. And it was that moment in the 38th minute that I was like, oh, it's going to be like that. Got it. It's going to be like that. And nothing changed to me the rest of the match. Honestly, like that right there, that could have been a goal. That could have been 2-0. But 2-0 came soon enough. 3-0 was honestly nice. I mean, this is a nice goal. This is very calm. This is calm and slotted, and the SDFC players that were calling for offsides looked really sad when they were doing that, because there was like nothing even approaching an offside that happened on this play. And I don't mean mean or anything, but this is just, there's a saying that comes throughout my life in so many different ways, guys, and it is, there are levels to things.
Yep.
And in everything, there are levels. And you think you have found a level and mastered a level, and you find out that there's a whole level above that you had no idea was there, and it makes everything look different. And that's what this match was to me, was Pachuca saying, guys, there's levels to this, and you're not here. You're over here. This is fun. This is cool. We're up here, and we're going to take advantage of everything you do. And cool 60-40 possession numbers. Like, I think we've built that into the contract now. for SDFC. Pachuca knew exactly what to do with their 40%.
Yeah, and they were like Alex mentioned, they were physical, and I think that's the gear. And then we'll hear also from Mikey Vadas just in terms of like what was the match preparation going into it. In terms of you knew that they, Mexican teams in Spanish we call it colmillo, like it's just having the dark arts in your back pocket. Craig, in MASL we know it well. Chihuahua Savage, the Mexican team, the Tricampeon, like. They'll go down and there's that magic spray that just comes out at some point, and player was literally about to have his leg amputated and magic spray, and all right, we're back up. But that frustrates the players. That's something that's felt throughout, and just again to add a little bit of lore to the Chuky versus Pachuca thing. Lozano is the coach that first left him off that national team.
Yeah,
and just said no, thank you. Chuky, specifically you, no thank you. Bye-bye. I'm going with the young kids. And it ended up kind of sort of working for Copa
for a little bit. Yeah.
And that's the beginning of the decline of the relationship between Chuky Lozano and the Mexican national team. And that's him then being just announced in Chuky Mania. So just a little bit more of layers, like, yes, boyhood club for Pachuca and Chuky. It was a little chippy, specifically in a couple of corners with the bench and Chuky on some instances. So it felt like a LigaMX game, and in that, that's sometimes what happens. Sometimes the team just overpowers the other, and the other one's just a witness there, and we're just kind of paid to watch grass grow for a day, and the other team score. But it's a lesson learned. It's a lesson learned. Now you know how maybe to handle this.
Yeah, and now they're a little bit more battle tested too, especially that young back line. They know what can happen in these matches, and especially moving forward when we're heading towards playoffs and everything. They got to be up for it. They got to be up for the challenge, and yeah, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be what we saw with the last two matches where they handle their business. But yeah, sometimes it's going to be physical. It's going to be a lot more demanding, and they really got to be up for it. And yeah, they had their hands full against this Pachuca team.
What are you supposed to do there? Like, what are you supposed to do?
No, nothing. Yeah, you got nothing. There's nothing you can do.
The book,
yeah,
the book says pass it because you need to go at least 10 more yards to have a look at goal. And no, like that's incredible right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, Alexi Dominguez, man, he had a heck of a match, and for a kid that's 20 years old, that's the type of striker, Tyler Heaps, man, you got to be looking for that type of striker right there, man, because he really put some a good strike into that ball, and it's like I said with Olaski, I don't think anybody we have on that team has that type of strike. But yeah, I mean, Heaps, keep looking around, man.
You got Emma Boateng. He scored.
Well, that's a nice goal. When the other team is feeling very relaxed and not particularly attentive once they're up 3-0 with 8 and 10 minutes to go. But that is a nice finish, and it's a nice cross. And they're going to get another one late here in this highlight reel as well. It's a solid result for Pachuca. And I would just say, here's the thing I wanted to ask to wrap it up. I don't believe Pablo Cisniega did anything wrong in this game. And I even think that the first goal allowed is hilarious to punch it off the face of the dude and make him score off his own face.
Yeah.
Like if you want to score off your face like that, fine. But I thought the way he charged and shortened the distance and reduced the angle was beautiful. No one in the world was going to stop the second or the third goal. And we played those highlights for you here on the show. You could see them. Second goal was inch perfect. Third goal was a golazo. There's just no question about it. But would any of you be surprised if CJ Dos Santos started on Friday?
No, I don't think so. you know what it's like you it's like having a catcher, right, Craig? It's like you can't start these guys on every game, especially when it's this type of competition.
Ask the
It
keeper. He wants to start every game.
Yeah, okay. Well, look, yeah,
I
like
know a few.
we'll know tomorrow night when the starting nine or starting 11 comes out, and yeah, we'll see how serious Mikey Varas is about this second game of Leagues Cup. But I mean,
Well,
I would give Dos Santos, like, let's see how ready you are type of a game, or save him for the third Leagues Cup match. But I think Dos Santos should come in for one of these matches. I don't, Varas pick the one you want.
yeah, I think, and just kind of knowing, hearing how training's been going the last couple of weeks, is that um, he's wearing a mask. He's still wearing a mask to train, and he's not getting used to that mask. And I'm not sure what his, where he's at on that transition to being a mask goalkeeper. But I know that as of rather recently, it's just, it takes some time to adjust, especially for that position. You just, the technology is great now, but it's just such a weird thing to have on your face, especially when you come out in moments like that with Pablo Cisniega. You're kind of, having I don't know how to describe it. Like, in wrestling, if a wrestler wears a referee shirt, he becomes, and you touch him, they're out for 10 minutes, even though he's the world champion, but they're wearing a referee shirt. If you put that mask on something, like, it almost hinders a goalkeeper's just mentality and psyche. So I would be surprised if he starts tomorrow. But given said that, maybe he's been ready this last week of training, with Duran free. What does that mean? Does it mean that, Faree's now had better competition for CJ spot? Don't think so at all. But I'm not too sure. I wouldn't be surprised if Cisniega gets played again, Mexican against the Mexican competition, knows the league, knows the players, that type of strong, coming out strong, sort of closing angle strategy. So I don't know. Well, who would you prefer, Craig? I mean, that's if
I'd start Cisniega. I think Cisniega is the best keeper on the team. I thought that going into the season. He didn't win the job. Dos Santos played well. He got a contract extension that, I mean, he's a younger player, so I get it, but I thought it was honestly a little bit surprising. I didn't think his play in the first half of the season spoke to a top third goalkeeper. I thought it spoke to a guy who was doing fine. That terrible word that how was it? Oh, it's fine. Oh, fine. Oh man, that's not good enough. But I think Cisniega has been a really solid shot stopper. He's very athletic. Dos Santos isn't non-athletic. I mean, he's fine. Again, there we go. But personally, I would rate Cisniega 1. So I would start him again, and I'd keep starting him the rest of the season, and see if we could win MLS Cup with him. I just wouldn't be surprised because it's ringing in my ears, and Varas has brought it up himself. Tony, as a guy who's been at the press conferences, he's brought up his own thing about exceptional performance remains, but good to average is subject to change. And probably you'd rate Cisniega as having been good or average on the Pachuca match on Tuesday. So therefore, that would be Dos Santos' chance to rap on the door and say, I'm ready. Let's go. Get me back in there. It's my chance.
Yeah.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
And look at the back line too. Who has more experience with this young back line? Cisniega. Like, he's been able to kind of grow with them as starters. So interesting times. And again, at this point, like, you may want to save one of them to be an outfield player. You did get these reinforcements, but under 20 World Cup is coming through, and that's going to come fast and furious because you have a couple players that you're going to be losing here, I believe, going into August.
October.
October?
I think, yeah, it's late in the season. Yeah.
Yeah. But, at the end of the day, this is the team that's there. 3-2, Pachuca, ugly match, boring. essentially just not necessarily boring. It's just it's exactly what the cynical part of me. Whenever if I thought of what's this Leagues Cup going to be for SanDiego FC, that red card for Dreyer.
The red card.
He deserves the day off.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not gonna lie. Like that might have been helpful for
that.
them,
Yeah,
'cause
that might have been on
otherwise they
purpose.
probably would have played him 60 minutes.
Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Good for Dre. I mean, you deserve a day off, man. Yeah, you were running up and down the field all day on Friday night, and did it again Tuesday. It's like, come on, well deserved day off for Andres Schreier there.
Agreed. Let's you know what? Let's wrap with training sound. Let's just talk briefly about Tigres.
Okay.
This is a team that to me is one of the class of LigaMX, led by one of the legends, Gignac, the French great, who has just made a home for himself in Monterrey for years now. And his legend has just grown and grown, unlike Zlatan, who would have been gone, 3-4 years ago. He's still there. There's a lot of youth. There's a lot of talent. This is a dynastic team. This is a team that always kept on being one of the fighters at the top. And honestly, guys, based on the Pachuca match, I'm not like walking in expecting that this is going to be the one that we get to have on our side to stay alive in Leagues Cup.
Yeah, it's going to be a battle. I mean, they also have some young talent on that team that is almost comparable to what SanDiego FC has. Like these are like some youth nationals that really, when I look at the roster, I saw Diego Lainez. I mean, that dude, he was like coming up so quickly. That dude, yeah, he was a shining star. Like he was soaring, and he went over to Betis, went to Braga, and now he's back to Tigres. And he had like high hopes, high potential. Another guy was Marcelo Flores too. Like he also was playing over on the Arsenal side in their system, and went and now he's back with Tigres. So like it feels a little similar to what we're seeing with SanDiego FC when you're talking about like Verhoeven or who played Bambino, who played with the U.S. youth national team. Like it's almost very similar. So, and right now Tigres is third in the league right now. They're led by Pizarro, who's 35 years old. When I looked that up the other day, I was like, Pizarro? Pizarro that played
That Pizarro.
like recently, like almost like last season, like that guy. Oh wow. Okay. All right. So Pizarro's leading the charge here, and he was also Tigres legend, and now he's coaching the team. So there's a lot of parts here, and it's really, really interesting to see this team come in at this time, because it's going to be another test for SanDiego FC.
All right. Last time we were accused on the comments of being overly negative towards the end, and let me tell you, it's not going to stop. Unfortunately, at least for me, right? Angel Correa is an Argentinian striker who, based on Alex's Craig, he just came back from and was contracted by coming over from Atletico Madrid. In that same vein where Pierre-Andre Gignac came over from I believe it was Marseille at the time in his prime, and it was like, whoa, this European is coming over, much like Dreyer's coming over, and like, wow, like they're coming over. This is really good talent. Angel Correa is exactly that, and let me tell you, like, he went to town against Houston, and he had a Ronaldo Nazario-esque goal, and it's just incredible what he's able to do. And that's up top, the tip of the talent pool that they have. And it's if you ever give him any space, any chance, he's going to go ahead and be lethal. Again, you can't give him that much space.
I mean, don't do that. That's
don't do that.
God. Oh, that's mean.
That was disgusting. There was no need for
cruel.
that.
That's just cruel. Yeah,
What
it's
are you
cruel.
doing? Like, and I don't know if you remember, gentlemen.
Ambush. Ambush. You can't imagine one of our young guys giving the ball up like that to Correa, could you?
And guess what? This game ended up being 4-1 to Tigres. If you're going just based on head-to-head, if you do the aggregate, San Diego FC lost 4-2 against Houston.
Let's not play that game.
Let's not play that game.
The transitive property does not necessarily apply here.
Different tournaments, but
Listen, I don't just for memes. Okay, this is for you memes. I don't know shit. All right, like I have no idea. So if I think we're gonna lose and the team wins, that means the team's awesome and I'm dumb again. Okay, and I'm happy to be that. And the Chromaniac, when I put the wig on, I only think of victory, nothing else. Okay. Here on the Chromaniacs, I look at it like trying to be rational, but remembering at Padres Hot Tub, I have a saying that we've had for years: baseball is stupid and no one should watch.
Yeah.
Soccer isn't as stupid as baseball, but there's a lot of dumb. In there. There's a lot of ball goes off your face and you score, ball goes off the post and you lose, everything. The world decided on some Heisering spin of a pelota. Like, it's crazy. So understand, with the randomness, anything could happen. Hell, the way Tigres got into San Diego tonight.
Yeah.
They could have arrived at the hotel and the trainer gave out the list and everyone worked their trip into the gas lamp around it. And everyone is going out and getting shit-faced tonight and trying to hook up and living the life. And they're going to show up with absolutely no energy tomorrow because they don't care about Leagues Cup. And they don't give a crap. And if that happens and we pull a result, guys, Alex and Tony and I were talking about this before the show. Our coverage of Leagues Cup will be 100% dependent from here on out on SDFC's participation therein. If they beat Tigres, get ready. We'll do a show. Okay? If they are ready to advance against Mazatlan, we will be white-knuckling that bad boy and treating it like the biggest cup in the history of SDFC. If they get conked tomorrow and it's 3 spit in the second half again, they're getting goosed, 3 spit. Like, I don't care about Leagues Cup anymore. And it won't matter to me one bit. So for this young team, if Tigres wants to go out and throw a boner tomorrow and we pull a win and get back in it, holy crap, like readjust. But right now I'm thinking young team SDFC, Tigres comes in, and it's thinking to the next MLS match and not worrying about Leagues Cup anymore.
And if I may, Craig, one last thing, and this is game. Now that I'm thinking about it, if you're going to watch this game or just attend, think of it as more sports entertainment at this point. Because let me tell you about, if I was reincarnated as a goalkeeper in the LigaMX, I would be Tigres' goalkeeper, Nahuel Guzman, because this dude is out of his mind in terms of what a goalkeeper is doing, how he conducts himself. This is him taking a penalty with his back to Sergio Ramos. Like, this is an insane goalkeeper that, all right, let's.
Oh, I want to see that.
Yeah. He's like, all right, here we go.
Would you like to see my ass?
There's a cut to Ramos of like, is this guy for real?
Like, do I shoot him?
Like, what's going on? No, and
he was just looking over his shoulder. If he went full Jedi mode and then stopped it, it'd be the greatest save in the history of the world.
Yeah, it doesn't work. He's just telling him I'm gonna connect to him.
Like, are you gonna die? What are you
and it's a goal. But this is the type of character that we can expect. He also does in League Cup magic tricks. This is him pulling again, sports entertainment is League's Cup. This is not serious. Sports entertainment.
I like it.
Yeah, we get to see some teams that we don't normally see on a day-to-day basis. So yeah, think of it as entertainment. I agree.
Also, latest antic. I'm so sorry, Craig, but
what?
You'll appreciate this. This is what he did in the Houston match. He's pulling his own shirt to get a call.
So he's like, hey, they're pulling my shirt. That's you, jerk.
Oh man.
Well, all right.
I love this guy.
All right. It'd be
I
fun
just
if
love him looking over his shoulder. Oh, look, I'm doing. Oh my God, that's amazing. All right, let's hear from the head coach. I love this man, Mikey Vares. Tough week for Mikey. What you got for us, Mikey?
What have been the differences in preparing now your squad in entering two different tournaments in terms of recovery, in terms of game planning? What is that different? And there are nuances to that?
I'd say there's no real nuance right now because we've been playing with quick turnaround, so it's just about recovering the group, using video to provide confidence in the things that we did well, and then also make little adjustments at the details level to make us prepared. And then as the tournament goes on, obviously, I think more nuances will come about.
And then is there any differences in studying LigaMX teams in terms of the way that they play? Luca de la Torre had mentioned just squeezing the gamesmanship aspect a little more with Pachuca this last match. Now going into Tigres, is there something that's added attention in that sense?
Yeah, no, I mean, we spoke with the leadership committee. We were ready for that. We know that Latino teams, South American, we're good at understanding that gamesmanship, and but until you experience it as a group together, you can never be fully prepared. And I think now that the group has a collective experience with it, I think each step of the way will be more and more prepared. At the end of the day, what I really liked was that we didn't let it fluster us, really, a little bit until the end. But I thought we showed a lot of composure early on and just playing our game, focusing on the next action and being us.
How does that hit you, Craig?
Pretty solid. Don't let it bother you. Move on. Kobe mentality. Next shot, next opportunity. I like it. I think this guy is not long for San Diego, basically. I think Mikey Vares is one of the better head coaches I've seen. I think he's one of the most authentic people I've encountered in professional sports. And I trust him pretty implicitly, to be honest with you. I trust him, and I trust his ability to teach a young team. And I think continuing to gather his proteges from the USMNT under 20 is a pretty good idea. Let's see how it works.
If I actually ask him for a player profile from each of these kids to see if we can, what does he see in them? See if I can pull this up.
With us, so he's a fullback. I think kind of like a mixed profile, responsible, sturdy defender who can get forward. He's tidy in possession. We have Pedro Soma who just arrived, and he's building fitness to get fully his minute potential higher. But he's a number 6, number 8, really clean on the ball, really good at interpreting spaces and playing inside a collective, and also has ball winning ability. We have David Vasquez, who's coming from Philly. David shows a tremendous work rate in terms of pressing, so he comes from a pressing club, but he's also got really good technique and good attacking ability. So we're interested to see how all of those things translate from the young guys at the next level.
Let's go.
Yeah, I think something that we didn't bring up when it came to Aiden Harangi, I liked the few minutes that I saw out of him. I thought he played better than Verhoeven, because anytime Verhoeven had the ball, he he was trying to get it through to his space, but it just kept getting blocked. And then he would try again. It would happen again, and just kept happening for him. He just couldn't find that pass that he was trying to get through. And then Harangi was there for the assist at the very end. And I thought that I saw better ball movement. I like that he went a little bit further down the pitch than what Verhoeven does. He kind of stops short a little bit from the penalty box sometimes, and tries to get a pass in, or tries to pass it to over in the midfield. But yeah, I like the little bit that I saw from Harangi. Hopefully we get to see more.
We've still got sound from Tomas Angel, who should use these matches as the opportunity of his career to try and get something done, to move his stock up to the point that he gets the next center forward start and doesn't lose his job to a kid like Vasquez. Let's hear what Tomas Angel has to say.
Thank you. Tomas, can you just take us through the differences maybe in the way that the game feels in facing LigaMX team? Now you faced America in a friendly, you faced Pachuca, now moving into Tigres here tomorrow.
Yeah, no, like I said, it's a different league where they probably can sit back and wait with more patience and try to counterattack. That, like, in difference, or what I've seen from the MLS teams, is that they will also sit back, but it's more give and take. So it's just how we quickly adapt and find those spaces and just try to hurt them when we create those options.
And then what is it like playing where, some may say that LigaMX teams have some tap into the gamesmanship aspect of the game. How does it feel, when there are certain aspects where moments are squeezed out, or just pauses with players on the floor?
Yeah, Mexican teams know how to manage the games, know how to take it at their tempo, and we just have to, how I said, adapt to it and try to take them out of their comfort zone. And it's the first time we're in this competition, but for sure we're going to go with everything we have for the last two games, and hopefully qualify and keep fighting for the cup.
And then after the America friendly, you score a golazo, but then you were a little bit self-critical about the performance and moving forward that way. How have you grown since that moment and now getting more minutes under you?
Yeah, obviously as a striker, you wish to score more goals. I think it's since that game, I've had a couple of goals, and it's helped me a little bit in my confidence. But I'm hungry for more. I'm hungry to help the team to keep winning, to keep fighting for every title we have in stake this year, and just I'm faithful that it's going to open, and obviously goals are going to come.
Good luck to Tomas Angel. I hope he's right. He's a young guy that could still continue to improve and become a big part of the future of San Diego FC. The fact that he hasn't scored in some of his recent performances doesn't necessarily indicate that he will never score for San Diego FC, or he'll never be a positive option at the 9. But it would really behoove him to get it rolling and start to give his coaching staff a little bit more that they can hang on to in terms of what Angel can do, compared to, again, the next kid in on loan, or in Gvartsen back from injury. Eventually, there's going to be some optionality for this club at center forward, and eventually they have to have an answer there. They're not going to get to the promised land without getting something out of that spot. And, Milan, hail fellow, well met.
Yeah, I'm rooting for the guy, and he actually, I thought he played better in this match, and we saw it the first minute in when he kind of turned and got a shot on target, and yeah, that's kind of what you want to see at Angel, and yeah, we just want more like positive contributions, even if it's an assist or not getting in the way of Andres Dreyer sometimes. Um, just I think he just needs to be a little bit more aware and just uh, you know, be he also the other thing about him in this match was like, yeah, he didn't see Dreyer on his right side and try to get it to Chuky, and then Chuky had a shot on goal, and Dreyer was like wide open. Like that awareness just needs to be a little bit more heightened, and I hope that we see these are the minutes that Angel should be playing in. Give him these next two games to kind of try to figure it out, because we haven't heard anything official yet, or anything rumored or reported that we're bringing in the striker just yet. So um, if it might just be Angel, Valakari,
So,
Vasquez.
yeah.
That it might just be it. But so I hope I'm rooting for the guy. I hope he can figure it out.
On the injury report, Chris McVey is slated to come back on the bench for this match. So I asked, hey, who's on the mend? Who's the closest to it? And that's what we have, Chris McVey. We're back to the Tomas Ankel really quickly, though. I just hope for his sake, it's not a situation where, and you find strikers that go into this where they just can't score on open play, and then they rely and they score off of set pieces, and that kind of brings a false confidence where it's like, yeah, he scored, but you lost 3-1 against Tigres, but what a goal, right?
Right.
You're still thinking about that moment with America, right? Like that's possible, but you need to have the production in transition with this style of play to be effective as a striker. And also with Tomas, like I really hope the best for the guy, just because there's no other options. And guess what? There's no Dreyer to get in the way. There's a chance that this may be something that gets unlocked because he doesn't have that kind of person in the back to always have that second feeling of like, maybe I should pass it. Maybe I should let Dreyer take it. It's that self-doubt. No, he's not there. I have to step up. And this is an opportunity for Tomas Ankel tomorrow to go ahead and do exactly that and step up.
Question. Last thing for me, honestly, for the show tonight. And it's just kind of like a fun thought experiment. But with Dreyer out, we assume Lozano will start. We assume Angel will start. More likely, plug Maiton in, or could Vasquez see the field, or could Valakari move up as he's done multiple times and Soma sees the field? What do you think is the more likely of those three scenarios?
Possibly what? In you mean in Dreyer's spot, correct?
Maiton or Valakari moves up and Soma plays midfield, or Vasquez gets that play?
I think it's Maiton. He gets the minutes.
I wouldn't be surprised if Emma Boateng get to start.
Oh yeah, Boateng.
Yeah,
and
the old man play 60 or.
Sure, and then you bring that change of pace with Alex Maiton in the second half, and I think there's clearly been a departure from Maiton and the trust that he had early on the season to get those starts, because he's just not necessarily going with that right to dream play style, and he's kind of doing his own thing and trying to go through literal matter and legs. It just doesn't work that way. Balls are not, they can't go through solid matter and human beings. You have to go around them sometimes, but this is kind of the X factor that he has. But, I can see Maiton starting. I can see this, but, Mikey's been very much praising Emma Boateng as of recently in his performances. So maybe he's earned a start here. Not too sure, but it'll be interesting against Tigres. It'll be a show. People will be hopefully entertained, and we'll see. It was a very low attended match, just relatively speaking. Obviously Tuesday, weird.
Tuesday 8:00 start. By the way,
I hate the 8:00 start.
That was
I despise the 8:00 start. If there's one thing that makes me want to go to the Padres game over SDFC tomorrow more than anything else, it's a 6:40 first pitch and an 8:07 kickoff at Snapdragon, which means if I stay the whole match and take the trolley home, I have no shot at getting home before 11.
That's right. Yeah. It's a long night for these Leagues Cup matches. And I think LA Galaxy just kicked off too, not that long ago. So yeah, these are some late starts.
I mean, for the chance to see us potentially get abused by Tigres, like, oof. Maybe they should have put the second Leagues Cup ticket out of my season ticket package and put the third one in. I buy the third one at this point is rough sledding for SDFC, but I digress.
Hey, let's check in on Leagues Cup really quick, if you don't mind, Craig. What's going on right now?
We got Cruz Azul. Yeah, we got Cruz Azul and Sounders at half 0-0, and then Galaxy. Oh man!
And a referee substitution here
wow,
in the.
We're losing refs. It's getting rough out in Leagues Cup.
Where's their load management, guys? Come on,
right?
Oh,
backup
man.
Can anybody in the audience play drums? Can anybody?
Can anybody rap? Oh my goodness.
All right, guys. That's going to be it for this one. San Diego FC pummeled by Pachuca, but we'll see what Tigres brings. It's going to be a young team moving forward, and honestly, it's all on you guys Friday against Tigres. Win a game and get me interested. Otherwise, I'm going all the way forward to the next MLS match and going, LigaMX, what? Huh? What are we doing? Alex, tell everybody what they can find when they check out Chromatic FC and where to go.
Yeah, I'll recap, these two matches from Leagues Cup and kind of, talk about where we're at, where we're standing, and if we have a shot at advancing over at Chromaniacs FC. What about you, Tony?
Well, you can find everything that we do, and that includes me being sunburned at Singing Hills sometimes. And over on SanDiego.Futbol, that's the website. You can find great writings there, also from Abe Cepeda, San Diego Wave, San Diego Soccer, Soccer's Overtime, Soccer Summertime, everything soccer in San Diego, SanDiego.Futbol. Señor Craig.
Well, I'll tell you what, I spent a whole lot of today focused on the Major League Baseball trade deadline over at Padres Hot Tub, where we put out a 2-hour-long live trade deadline reaction show with all of our patrons. You can join that group at patreon.com/Padres Hot Tub. We actually were so big today that we had to have patrons boost the server to increase the size of the stage because they were turning people away. It was like, nope, sorry, you need to go up a level in order to let more people in. So we had a lot of fun over there. You can check out that show and get part of a community that's rallying for a division championship and a world's championship. And we can only hope and dream that when MLS playoffs turn around, that SDFC can have those same thoughts, dreams, and ambition. Leagues Cup, what is it? Is there a cup? Have they built the cup? Has the cup been made yet? Well, they made a scarf. Tell me if you want me to get excited. We'll find out as the week goes on. Until then, for Alex Pena, for Tony Sanchez, I'm Craig Elston. We appreciate you so much. If you've made it to the end of the show, please don't leave YouTube without hitting that thumbs up, hitting subscribe button. If you've been listening to the podcast, please find that 5-star review button. Click that. Leave a little kind written review that you enjoy the show. And we'll catch you next time. Until then, vamos, SDFC.